All right, well, it looks like there are no more Toys R Us kids. First Blockbuster, now Toys R Us. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't step foot into a Toys R Us until 2007. I'm 26, so that means I didn't step foot into a Toys R Us until I was like maybe 15 going on 16. And that's only because I went to college for a weekend at Liberty University when I went to Lynchburg. I'm from a very small town where Walmart is the mall. Like, we don't have Buffalo Wild Wings or Chick-fil-A or Cookout or Hibachi or Toys R Us, obviously, or an Ollie's. So yeah, that was definitely an experience. The only Toys R Us I knew was from watching the commercials, and I think occasionally we would get the big book of toys in the mail during Christmas, which was nothing but a freaking tease because the nearest Toys R Us was like an hour away. But in any case, they closed their doors a couple days ago, Thursday or Friday. I guess you could say most stores closed throughout the last week of June. Like, throughout that entire week, stores were closing at different days. I guess you could say that Friday or Thursday was like the last official day. But in my area here in Lynchburg, where I now live, Toys R Us closed its doors on Tuesday because there was an in-store fire due to a faulty wiring, I think. But I think that, you know, from the time Toys R Us announced its bankruptcy and was closing and put stuff on sale to the time they closed here on the 26th, I know I spent maybe a good $300 or if not more on toys because everything was so overpriced. I mean, again, the fact that I didn't even step foot into one until I was a teenager, walking around like, damn, I can't even afford a darn candy bar in this store. Yeah, I knew for a fact I wouldn't buy. I think that in terms of items that I bought, it was, you know, the usual, like a pack of Pokemon cards or, you know, an action figure here and there if the price was right. The most expensive items I know for a fact, you know, from the time I first went to Liberty on campus back in 2010 to 2014 and then moved to Lynchburg in an apartment to, you know, start working at the university for the next 3 years. And, you know, now I'm just a full-time YouTuber, but I'm still in Lynchburg. I'd say that the most expensive items I bought, I guess you could say when I started working in 2014, were the Power Ranger Legacy figures, you know, like the Dragon Dagger, Dragon Sword, White Saba Saber. Yeah, the legendary figure. I don't have them all. Like, I wasn't paying $200 for the Thunder Zord. Unfortunately, I wasn't making money when the original Megazord came out because I always wanted one of those. And yeah, so I got a lot of those still unopened. But yeah, from the time they announced their bankruptcy, my gosh, I would go in there, and again, if the price was right, because they're a little stingy now. Like, you know, we're doing 20 to 40% off. But the good stuff that I wanted was like at 20%, so the price sucked. But during its final days, went to 60 to 80%. So I got a few Megazords lying around, Morphers and Omnitrixes. So if you check my eBay, which the link is in the description below, you might be able to get lucky. I got some stuff on there. But basically, on June 25th, you know, I said I want to go in the store because somebody told me on Instagram, yo, Toys R Us 60 to 80%. I said, let me go make my final rounds because leading up to the last week of June, each time I go in Toys R Us, which would be about every 2 weeks because that's around the time the percentages would change, the store was getting emptier and emptier. They were taking stuff, moving it to the front of the store, blocking areas of the store also, you know, there was nothing left. And on the 25th, you know, I walked in, woman at the front, we're not taking any more cash or debit cards, only credit cards or debit cards if you have credit. I'm like, wait, what? So luckily enough, my debit card had credit on it. So, you know, I went through there. I spent about $40 or so. Then I went back later that night because I just saw a few things. I'm like, you know what? If they're closed, because I looked at my receipt and I saw some of the stuff I bought that morning was cheaper than I thought it was. So I'm like, yeah, let me go back one more time, get some stuff and go. Luckily enough, I did. I said that will be the last time I go, but maybe, just maybe the last day I'll go back and maybe they got some last minute items they threw up on the shelves. But yeah, I took a nap Tuesday afternoon. Then I woke up around 6 o'clock. Yeah, that evening. Yeah, it was from like, you know, 4:30 to 6. I took like a power nap. And then I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll go to Toys R Us. I was actually messaging a friend. They're like, oh no, they actually closed. Wait, what? Yeah, they had a fire around 5 o'clock this afternoon and they closed the store for good. It's like they ain't reopened. I'm like, well, damn. But the worst part about it was that Monday when I went twice, it felt like the air was so thin. Like, you know, it felt like you couldn't even breathe because it was so freaking hot and humid in the store. Like, it was a rainy day on Monday, but the store, I asked the woman at the cashier, I'm like, yo, what's up with the air? She was like, well, I don't know why, but the air conditioner has only been working like 20% of the time it cuts on. It's like, I don't know, it must be something wrong with the wiring. So maybe that played a role in that fire that occurred the next day. But yeah, Toys R Us is gone. Now, I'm not going to say that, you know, oh my God, Toys R Us is gone, a part of my childhood is gone, because again, I didn't even step foot into one until I was in my mid-teens, for one. Secondly, I can definitely see why it went bankrupt, because most of the only time, like those Power Ranger Legacy figures, the only reason I bought those from Toys R Us is because those are like Toys R Us exclusives, which is a beautiful thing, because with Toys R Us closed, that means that the toys I still have, which are completely unopened, will make a lot of bank online. So thank you, Toys R Us, for that. And no shame, because I paid y'all out of my own pocket with my hard-earned money, so making my profit there. But I must say that Toys R Us, it definitely was a good store when it was here, because, you know, being in college and being, you know, with the pressures of adulthood, responsibilities, student loans, planning out your future, it kind of felt, you know, people would say it's weird, but nowadays, you know, the stuff we grew up with as kids is now the it thing. You know, if you aren't into like the Pokemon Go and whatnot, you know, you really aren't one of those cool kids, which is ironic, because, you know, in middle school and whatnot, you were the geek. But, you know, when you get to college, you really don't give a damn what people think. So it was cool to have Toys R Us, just to sometimes, you know, if I had a day off from classes and whatnot, like if I didn't have any scheduled class that day, it's like, look, yo, I've done all this homework, I'm stressed out, I'll browse around Toys R Us, you know, remind yourself of a simpler time. So that was pretty cool. And then the fact that it was right across the street from a Thomas Road Baptist Church, is like, you know, church on Sunday, might go see if there's anything good on the shelves, and you know, might get something. But yeah, it's just interesting to see, you know, what's next in terms of what I guess you could say classic childhood store is going next. I heard that GameStop is looking for a buyer or something like that, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But, you know, that's what they get for giving people like a couple of bucks for like 30 games. But with Toys R Us, like I said before, aside from those Toys R Us exclusive figures, there wasn't much I would buy. Like the Pokemon cards, I would only buy them if they had a sale, like, you know, buy one, get 40% off, because I think most of the time their individual packs were like $4.99, while you can go to stores where they have them for like $3 or $4.99. Oh yeah, $3.49. I know in TJ Maxx, when they used to have cards, they would usually have for $2.99. I would buy their entire supply. And again, Pokemon cards are on my eBay, so those are like near mint condition. Check them out. There's a link in the description below. But yeah, it's just, I don't think they evolve, you know, when you got like Amazon and, to a lesser extent, Walmart and Target, because even though their prices are, you know, decent, there are times where they definitely have a lot of clearance sales and whatnot. Toys R Us is one of those holiday Black Friday kind of shopping styles where they got those toys where you would definitely buy them. Like I remember the Dragon Dagger. Like there's one Dragon Dagger when I was able to afford it. Like that's mine. Like I'm not selling that sucker. Like I take it out of the box every now and then. I play the tune and put it back in. But then there's one that's completely unopened. I bought that one. It was the last one on the shelf. They knocked the price down to like 40 bucks. I'm like, heck to the yes. I grabbed it, went to the checkout. So I'm not selling that yet. I feel like I need to wait a while. I got the Dragon Zord, the black and gold edition of the Dragon Zord, a Dragon Dagger, the White Tiger Zord, and I'm keeping Saba too. Saba and the Dragon Dagger, I'm keeping those. I got the Legacy Red Ranger helmet. Those are, I'm probably going to sell those at some point. But then I got a bunch of other toys that I bought during the clearance sale, and they are definitely getting a lot of attention on eBay. So that's why I say I put stuff on there each week. You better check it out. And yeah, it is kind of sad to see the picture of Jeffrey with the briefcase and everything. Like, yo, that's sad. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Even though I said I don't really have any childhood memories of Toys R Us, I got a little choked up when I saw it. I'm like, well, damn, Jeffrey, you ain't had to do me like that. Well, yeah, those overpriced toys, I mean, when you see like a freaking Hot Wheels track for 30 bucks, which you can get for like maybe 10 or 12 bucks at another store like a TJ Maxx or a Ross or a Walmart, you know, which one are you going to pick? Toys R Us is like that store, like a museum. You go in there, you look just to kind of get an idea of what toys, especially, you know, when I first discovered, you know, online shopping on Amazon and whatnot, I've become a critical shopper. It's really the, okay, I can spend $5 extra but get the item now, or buy it online because, you know, I pay my annual fees to Amazon Prime and whatnot. So why not take advantage of that and just have patience for a couple more days? But yeah, it definitely is sad to see Toys R Us go, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And in terms of me with these Power Ranger toys and whatnot, I know that Hasbro has taken over Power Rangers officially. They bought the licensing, and I know they're going to be doing things differently with the television show, the movie, as well as the action figures and whatnot. I hope they keep the legacy editions going of these different, you know, remakes of like the Power Rangers in Space, Turbo, Zeo. I know they stopped at the Thunder Zord, if I'm not mistaken, for Mighty Morphin season 2 or 3. So hopefully we continue on. Like, I don't really care about the Shogun Zords and whatnot. Oh, I also have the White Falcon and the Ninja Megazord from the movie. So I got both of those as well. But I really want the Q-Rex from Time Force. But my God, if they do it season by season, I want to have to wait a long time for that. But with that being said, you know, let me know in the comment section below. Do you have any special memories from Toys R Us? I gotta say, aside from the Power Ranger Legacy figurines, I can definitely say that my favorite times in Toys R Us was when it was closing, because I would get when the store was closing, those were the only times in the past, like, what, 8 or 9 years since I've been in Toys R Us, that I've had a basket. Any other time, I would walk in there empty-handed and just carry the stuff I would buy because it was so expensive. I would only get a couple of items, but during the final weeks, it was like freaking supermarket sweep. I was putting stuff in there left and right. I feel like Michael Jackson, you know, what was that, Living with Michael Jackson, when he was shopping at this like art store and whatnot in the mall, and he was like, I want that one and that one, and I'll take both of those. Yoo-hoo, sir, that painting up there, I want that one. And I want this face. That was me. Like, I was walking around Toys R Us, like, grabbing this Megazord, grabbing this Omnitrix, grabbing this Pokemon Z-Ring. Like, each time I would have, like, giant bags. But the beautiful thing about it was I was getting, like, maybe $150 to $300 deals for, like, maybe 50 to 70 bucks a pop each time I would go. And I'll cherish those moments. But in any case, you know, Toys R Us, I'm going to miss it because there's a local comic book shop in the mall here that's closing in August, which is sad because there used to be a comic book store up the street that closed like sometime last year. Now with this comic book closing, I have no comic book store to shop at around here, which sucks. I guess that means I'm only able to buy the graphic novels when they come out as opposed to individual issues. But let me just put it this way, with Toys R Us going, well, Toys R Us gone and the comic book store closing soon, the only place I'm going to splurge at is, like, you know, Dollar Tree, which, no shame in that. I love Dollar Tree. Dollar General, which is awesome too. Ollie's, I guess, is the other store. I love that store to death. And if they get rid of Ollie's, I'm done. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on Toys R Us. What store do you think is going next? I mean, it's sad to say, but it seems like our childhood stores are disappearing as quickly as celebrities are being, you know, hit with the Me Too and Time's Up movement. So just like, you know, which celebrity is going to be accused of sexual allegations next, which store franchise do you think is going to be closing? So take a moment to subscribe for more content where we talk about some serious stuff with a little comedy mixed in there, and I'll talk to you all soon.